Okay, how about one more practice problem to help me and you study for our instrument written exams? Okay, so we're looking at problem 4616, and we're going to be using figure 114, and it reads, a pilot receives this ATC clearance. Clear to the ABC vortex, hold south on the 180 radial. What is the recommended procedure to enter the holding pattern? So when I read this, here's some of the key information that I pull out of the question. So it says nothing about left turns, so we're going to assume standard turns. So that means right turns. It also tells us to hold south of the fix, and we're going to be on a 180 radial inbound to the fix. And then from the figure 114, we can identify that the course of the plane we're flying at the time is on a 150 course. So we have here our generic traffic pattern. So we have this gray triangle that's going to represent our fix that we're flying to for the hold. I do have this pattern turned sideways, so just know that this is north over here, this is south over here, and we can see that from the 360 radial and then the 180 radial. So this is going to be east and west, and it said that we want to hold south. So if we have the pattern set up like this, we can see that the holding pattern is south of the fix, and we're going to be making right-hand turns. And we can see that from these arrows. So that's going to be to the right as we turn around here. All right, so we want to go ahead and divide up our holding pattern. We can do this by dropping this line here. One way we're going to do that is, since we're on the 180 radial, we turn this line into the protected area by 70 degrees. We can do 180 minus 70 and we'll get 110. We can extend that out the other side of the fix, and we're going to get the 290 radial because that's the reciprocal of 110. You can tell there's also a 70-degree difference between 360 and 290, so all that checks out. And now that we have our holding pattern divided up into its three sections, we can label those. This direct entry is going to be the biggest region. Parallel region is going to be the intermediate one, and the teardrop is going to be the small region that's just kind of hanging off the side of the holding pattern. So now we need to figure out where our plane is. We already know that we're on a course of 150 because of our HSI. So if we draw that, if the plane was inbound on a 150 course, 150 you can see is over here between 110 and 180, and we're flying in that direction towards the fix. So that would put us on this side of the fix in this teardrop region. And if we're flying the 150 course, that means we're also on a 330 radial, because 150 plus 180 is 330. And you can see the 330 radial is between the 360 and the 290. So I'm going to say teardrop entry is how we want to enter this pattern. So let's check that out. So that's going to be answer A, teardrop entry. All right, got another one right. Cool. On to the next question.